Hey, welcome everyone. It is Rob. Hope you're having a great day. Let's go ahead and make sure you can hear me. If you please type the number one in the chat box, let me know that you can. I see we've got a lot of brand new people here today. Welcome, welcome, one and all. There we go. Hey, Alex. Afternoon, Jim. Welcome, everyone. The joys of summer, huh? So, as we get started, keep in mind that everything we look at is for education. Nothing's meant to be advice or recommendations. If you find something you like, anything, make sure it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance. Excuse me. All right. Let me go ahead and try to start my camera. Oh, there it is. All right. Thanks, Andrew. Very cool. So we look at our agenda for today. We've got our follow us page. We're going to go through today's trade. So whatever trades you've done today over the last couple of days, whatever it is, go ahead and you'll drop those in. Economic reports, market review. We'll go through upcoming trainings. We've got our weekly training topic, and we'll wrap it up with your stocks in review. This is where you get to ask me questions on a particular stock you're looking at, considering. Um, Give me as much detail as you can. Don't just tell me Apple if you can. Tell me why you're looking at Apple. That way I can answer it to that reference of what you're looking for. Rob, I want Apple for a credit spread. Well, it's great on credit spread, but if your thought is to get out today, maybe we just do a day trade. Here's one. All right, let me just go ahead and mute that. I thought I already did that. So sorry. Hectic morning already. All right. So here's our follow us page. We do not have our new newsletter link on here just yet. Seeing a good growth spurt in the newsletter, so I'm excited for that. Any of you have suggestions on things that we could do to make it better? By all means, let us know. I definitely am looking to make this a premier tool that we use here at Wealth Builders. And again, it is a free newsletter. Here are today's trades. Not here are today's trades. What trades did you do? Drop those trades in. I'd love to see them. By the way, Andrew just dropped in the link for the newsletter. All right, so you can click on that and subscribe. You will not get it if you don't subscribe to it. This is a subscribe-only newsletter. So let's see. Jeff said this morning did an SPX credit spread. Both put spread 25 minutes after the open. 5 contracts out 5 minutes later, up $310. Nice job, Jeff. Really nice job. Let's see. Trip said did a put scalp on Micron, 46.6% in 5 minutes. 2 5-minute trades today. There, and then a quick scalp on diamonds for 50 cents in just 5 minutes. Nice job, Trip. Really good job. Excellent. I have a lot of stuff to share as far as trades go. We've had a lot of stuff trigger over the last couple of days. Let's see. I mean, here, I'm just going to bring over the trade with Rob. I'm not going to go into the individual stocks, but this is just from the 9th. So Wednesday and Friday, right? Those are the only two because we did not do a video for Thursday. So we had an app APP. We were up $468 on that on Wednesday. Really nice. MasterCard up $306. We got some really good returns on the trades we had go off this week. We've had these 72s and 18s and 36s. That's not what happened this last week. So we did real well there. Carvana, new stock added to a couple of different watch lists this week. Carvana, and we're up $450 on Carvana. And Netflix, $360. It was a put trade, but we did, we're up $5 on the stock. We're up $360 on the option. So overall, not too shabby. On Trade with Rob, guys, we are sitting at 47 trades in total. 42 of them are winners. 5 went against us. Nothing that's break even. That is for this year, right? And I don't do this every day, meaning I don't produce a video every day. We're up $12,446 this year. Here's the only question, and that's one contract, by the way. They're all ones. Here's the one and only question you need to ask yourself. Are you doing those types of numbers? If not, why are you not subscribing to Trade with Rob? It's a great newsletter. Again, newsletter. It's a great resource. It's like a newsletter. One trade type, so you have a lot of choices in there. It's not, should I do a credit spread? We do one trade setup only in their directional trades. Could you use them for other trade types? Without a doubt. Yes, absolutely, without a doubt. You can. So from what we're looking at on Trade with Rob, we did extremely well, right? I want to look at Let's see, wrong page. Let me just get the right screen there. So open trades right now, we've got here. Let me just do it on the charts. So we've got AMD as far as open trades go. We got in the trade, it was a swing trade. We got in on the 8th, right? So we got in right here on that breakout there, retest and bounce, gap up. We were not out of the trade out of our first exit. First exit on it's a 4 contract trade. We did it aggressive. So the first exit is 2 contracts, right? We did not take that trade on this day. It missed by 11 cents or something, hitting our target. Yesterday or Friday, I guess, we did. We ran right up into it. So right about 146 is where we got out of the first 2 contracts. Nothing, we're not stopped out yet. Our stop is still down here because we haven't really closed up above the 146.40 level yet. But 153.88 is our next resistance level. So right about 152 and a half, 152 and 3/4 is going to be our target there. So this is a great setup. Great setup. There you go, Brenda. 42K in a little over 3 minutes today on SPY. Brenda's doing very big numbers, folks, but 42K in 3 minutes on SPY. Great job with that, Brenda. Phenomenal. Great job. Right? We look at closed trades on um, from Pop from last week. So on July 10th, which was Thursday, we had a Lilly trade, right? And here's the details of the trade right there, right? We bought to open 10 calls, 10 contracts, 10x calls. When the stock was at 791, we sold at 797, up $4,680 on this day, right? So overall, very pleased with what we did there. Not all trades can be winning trades, right? We look at Amazon. Amazon was one that had gone against us last week. This was on the 7th, right? So we bought to open calls, 10x of calls at 223 and 3/4. We sold it at 223 and a half. So total P&L, we're down $195. Nothing horrible there as far as downside, but that's the idea, is managing expectations in this trade. You should not be going in this trade saying I'm only risking a penny and I'm going to make $1 million. You can't have that happen. It won't happen. I don't care how good you are. I've never met anybody that can manage that kind of expectation. Um, Alex said, Alex said, my fragile confidence is a bit shaken after a month of not trading while moving and dismal results. So far this month, I've been back at it, but I'm working to get my mojo back. And it's Alex, I feel you, brother. I do, because I know exactly what you're talking about. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, right? Take time off from the market, go do something else for life in life, and come back and say, "Oh, wait a second, why am I feeling skittish about pulling the trigger now?" Or, why am I so greedy? Or it's usually not the greed part; it's the other side of fear, where you're getting out of the trade because you're afraid it's going to go against you. All right, so it's dropped 5 cents. I pull the trigger, get me out. Right, I understand. This is just this is the baseball player that is doing poorly at batting, and they put him in practice. And that's all he's doing. They're pulling him out of the game and they put him in practice. So I understand exactly what it is that you're going through. On the plus side, I did have a good learning experience on a covered call last week. The value of my stock shares went up about $700, and I was looking forward to getting called away while with the calls I sold as a bonus about $1,000 in total. Okay, I was called away, but at the strike price I sold. Whoops! I still okay. So you thought you were going to get taken away at the higher price? Gotcha. So when you sell a covered call, your stock is at $10 and you give someone the right to take it away at 11. This is for everybody. Alex got it last week. He figured it out. Stock is at 10 when you buy it and you give someone the right to take it from you at 11. If the stock goes to 15, they're taking it from you at 11. They're not taking it from you at 15, right? You gave away your rights on that position at $11. That stock could have went to zero and someone could have taken it away at $11. You have no say in it at all, right? If they want it, they're taking it. Doesn't matter what you want, right? So, but that is a covered call in a nutshell. Um, it was called away, but at the strike price I sold. Whoops, I still made 8.4%, which is great, but would have actually made more money if I'd buy to close the calls at a loss and then sold the stock outright. Right. So there's multiple ways of doing it, Alex, right? You could have bought those call options back at whatever they were going for. And if you wait until expiration day, in the afternoon, there's very little time value that you're paying left. You're paying pure intrinsic at that point. So you're paying dollar for dollar plus a little bit of time value is what it comes down to. But keep in mind, stretching it out and trying to get to that 3:45, 3:50, 3:55 p.m. Eastern time, 5, 10, 15 minutes before the market closes, someone may exercise the option before Saturday, before Friday or Saturday, depending on if it's a weekly, monthly, and so forth. But they may exercise it before the market closes, which then could put you in a position that you didn't want to be exercised and you were. So it's gonna kind of our topic today almost covers a little bit of this, but good learning experience, Alex, without a doubt. Look, you made some money on it. It would have been nice if you made more. I had very early on in trading, I remember going through this scenario where I was going to buy a call back. No, I was going to be exercised on something. And I called TradeStation and said, how do I do this? And you're on with a broker now because no one else can give you that answer. A tech support person can't tell you this is the right way to place the trade. No, 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 they're not licensed to do that. So I'm on with the tech support, the broker. And he goes, no, 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 you don't want to do that. You want to do this, 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 and this instead. And he went ahead and spent 5 minutes with me analyzing what would my cost be if I went ahead and bought it back and rolled out to next month. What if I bought it back and just sold the stock? What if I didn't buy it back and let it expire? We went through all the different scenarios. And the one that I didn't choose, or one of them I didn't choose, was going to pay me another 15 or 17% more by going that route. Like, done. Now, that may not be available for everybody. You may not have the money to be able to cover a position, right? Your account could be very low in cash because you just bought all the stock and you can't cover a position by having to buy back that option at a much higher price than you sold it for, right? So you've got to make decisions based on what your account is, but covered calls are a great strategy, guys. Here's bottom line, my number one covered call strategy. When the S&P 500 is moving down today, sell covered calls against your SPY position. Market's going down. Which covered call? Today's. Out of the money with a delta of about 8 or 10. Oh, it's only 15 or 20 cents. I know. Oh, it's only 10 cents this week. That's okay. It's okay. I don't want my SPY taken away. I own SPY now for 5, 6 years, I think. Some of my accounts maybe a little bit longer. I don't think the TradeStation one. So I really don't want to take it away at this point. So Alex said also my compliments to Trip for Cover Call Explorer. I've been diving back in the past couple of weeks. I backed out earlier this year when things were started tanking, and I like it. Good, yeah. Trip does a great job. He's really taking it over as his own, and I love the videos every week that come out. So I mean, he's really good at picking them, and he's got good insights, and it's not even just the insights; it's good gut feel. Yeah, I've seen this one before. It's too expensive. Meaning he doesn't have to look at the option price. He already knows, yeah, they're high priced options. Or, yeah, I've seen this one before, and the market maker they just don't negotiate on bid ask. We can try, but they just don't do it. He's got really good insights as to the stocks that he's trading there. So, um, good job, everybody, on your trades. That is fantastic. Congrats on that. Listen, don't ever be shy of entering them in here. Think of this section of Power Hour as your accountability partner. That's it. And for many of you, you don't have one. Let me ask you, how many of you, give me a 1 for yes, a 2 for no, how many of you have a trading partner that you work with? 1 for yes, 2 for no. So for every answer that's coming as a 2, we got a 1 just came in now, a second one came in. Oh, that's almost cheating, no Trip. Trip has put a 1 in there, but Trip's in inner circle. And I say it's almost cheating. They meet a couple of days a week just in a trading room, just going over and looking at trading setups and strategies for there. Right, inner circle lab. Yep. I have a trading lab to work. Yeah. Amelia, I have a trading lab to work with. Exactly. There you go. Brenda said, you're it. All right. Alex said, but I'm on the market. Yeah, I'm on the market if Brenda's available. um, so Most individuals do not have an accountability partner, a trading partner to bounce ideas off of. And I want you to understand something. It is good and bad. If you're very easily swayed and influenced away from anything you're doing, if you're looking for every reason in the world to say no on your trades, then all it takes is your trading partner to go, I don't quite see that. And you're like, all right, that's it, done. I'm not doing the trade. No, wait a second. Don't give up on it so easily. And I'm not saying you shouldn't listen to that person. That's why they're there. My accountability partner for years was a good friend of mine. We actually had gone to business for a little while together too. But he was someone that I met. He was a coach at the very first company that I ever took trading education from. He was a student there. I was a student there. We met in the coaching program to become speakers for the company, and have remained good friends ever since. And for many, many, many years, it was daily on the phone with looking at what we were trading and so forth. Having that accountability partner is someone to bounce ideas off of, saying, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Right? Having a mastermind group where you can reach out to someone in that group that you partner with. And I love that. The mastermind group has the ability to, chat and talk. You got a Facebook page in there and a private Facebook page and so forth. You can find those accountability partners there. Same thing with Inner Circle is even more in depth because there's an actual trading room. So you're in that room trading or watching how other people are trading. You should be paper trading, non-funded trading in there, so you can learn the system and the setups that everybody's doing in there. But overall, having that trading partner is critical. So if you don't have that trading partner, that's what I am right now. That's what this is. When it comes down to the trades you've done and the stocks that you're considering, worst case, listen, I always try to get everybody's candidates in. Sometimes we go a little bit longer. It's not really like we said, okay, at 12:16, we're going to stop this piece and do that piece. I always strive to answer all the questions. But the worst thing that happens is we get candidates in there and we just don't have enough time to get to all of them. I'd rather have that than when we get to, we got the last couple of minutes and we don't have enough stocks to look at. I'd rather you throwing your candidates out there saying, all right, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And again, if you can give me a reason why, it's even better. So use Power Hour as your accountability. All right. Okay, let me go. Let's move this. Economic reports. Let's go take a look at what's going on. I think the biggest economic report today was Trump talking. Where did that happen from? Let's see. I don't want gray. I don't want yellow. Okay. There we go. Woo! Hold on. Yeah, we got everybody in there. I don't want everybody either. So let's do none. USD. Apply. Much more better. All right. So drawing tools are engaged. 8:30 in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, 8:30 in the morning. Okay. So 10 a.m. All right. So as we look at these, and you got a 6:30 p.m., right? That would be the same as this right here. Right? None of these are going to affect you if you're trading the market today. So if you're getting in a trade today after 9:30 a.m. Eastern, none of these reports that are in blue are going to affect you. What they are going to affect is you've got a swing trade from the day before, the week before, the month before, and now these announcements come out. So CPI came out today at 8, comes out tomorrow rather at 8:30. And then it's core CPI and PPI and MM month over month, YY year over year. Consumer price index. What does it basically cost you to buy stuff? Right. I saw a report this weekend by a news announcer that, he's more of an economist, but it was with an announcer, broadcaster, who was saying very little of the tariff increases have made it to consumers in the United States. So that's not to say that it's not going to, but again, remember, if there's a 10% increase, that increases in at the retail price or the price that it's getting sold into the US. It's not in the selling price that is sold in the US. So if you got a $100 item cost in the US, cost meaning your cost, retail cost is $100, but the person who's buying it paid $10 for it, that 10% is on the $10, not on the 100. Okay, it's an import tax basically, right? You can't charge me import on what is being sold for. Those would be different taxes, but doesn't mean we're not going to see more hit, and it doesn't mean we're not seeing companies do more on purpose, because I've seen that as well. And then you've got companies that are using it as a marketing ploy to say, car companies, Oh, come buy a Ford. We've dropped all our prices to employee pricing. You pay the same thing an employee pays. Really? Yeah. And I think Toyota did it, and there's a couple of others are doing the same thing of we're dropping our prices, we're not raising them with these tariffs and all of that. So good, bad, or indifferent, we will see. What did they say? I think I forgot who was on talking about it. I don't remember. But it's the first, it might have been Trump himself saying it, I don't know. But it's the first surplus we've had in whatever purse that money was in years. It's the first time there was extra money in there, and they accredit all of it to the tariffs we've collected from other countries. So, um, look, I get that we're trying to help other nations that are struggling, and maybe we want to give some economic relief and things like that. But the American taxpayer shouldn't suffer at the cost of it. So I'm happy to see other countries paying their fair share. Wednesday, we've got PPI, which is Producer Price Index. So this is the producer or the business, right? This is you, the individual. Okay. Thursday, we've got retail sales, unemployment, big reports, but they're pre-market. So anything that's pre-market, unless you are trading futures, are not going to affect you. Any post-market, Waller speaks, and that comes up on Thursday night. And then 10 o'clock on Friday, consumer sentiment, inflation expectations. They're all geared towards Fed. All of these just about are geared towards Fed. So hence the red and orange right now. So there's been talk of Trump trying to get rid of Powell if he doesn't get on board and start dropping rates. There's also been talk of if they put someone else in there, they're going to look for that person to start dropping quickly, maybe 2 points down. I think again we get into this race to the finish line is going to cause too much havoc. Would I like to see things come down? I would love to see, another half point minimum, three-quarter point this year. Minimum half point. The first half of next year, I'd love to see another point come down. Slow and steady. Don't come out with this three-quarter point drop crap because that's just going to mess us up big time. All right. Um, Economic reports and this week's earnings reports start to happen. What do you mean, Jim? Um, Yeah, we just need to get interest rates under control. There is when you look at housing, and that's where all of my comments on it come because of what's going on in housing. It's the biggest investment the average person will ever make in their life. One time, maybe twice, but it's the biggest investment you'll ever make. Your first house, the worst, right? Um, and people just cannot afford. They just cannot afford that kind of cost. It's just too high for them to contend with right now. So, and I understand, I fully understand it. It's tough. We're in closing right now on two houses that I am buying, two houses that I am selling. So I got four closings all happening within the course of a month. Um, and I get it. I see the loan documents of what people are paying. I know what I'm paying, as far as rate. So, would it be better if we were down 2 points lower than we are? Absolutely. Without a doubt. Um, yeah. Let's see. So Jim said this week's banks are reporting an AA quarter. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. There you go. So I get it. Economic reports and this week earnings reports start to happen. Got it. I read it as one sentence, Jim. So yeah. So this is a big date when it comes to economic reports, earnings reports. So if we go over to Earnings Whisper and we put in AA, which is Alcoholics Anonymous. No. Alcoa, July 16th, confirmed. Today is 14, so this Wednesday is the unofficial start of earnings season, right? And again, banks, Tripp's very big on following banks as well. So, but they're starting, and this is where you're going to start to see some craziness. I mean, I looked today. Where do I have this spreadsheet? Let me see. Here, nothing filled in yet. This is, just my prep for pop. So we're going to look at anything that has earnings before August, on or before August 5th. So we do have an August 6th and an August 7th in there also that I've added in because of when our next pop-up date will be. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of our 20 stocks have earnings coming out in the next 3 weeks. Right? And of that one, let's see, one, two of them are not confirmed yet. And that's MasterCard and Amazon. And I think Amazon is probably confirmed, but Earnings Whisper just doesn't have it as confirmed in there. Yeah, banks start tomorrow. Alcoa and Netflix are Wednesday. Yep. And we got Goldman Sachs is July 16th, right? Which is Wednesday. Yeah. That's the first one that we have on pop. At least it always has been. We changed 4 of our pop stocks last week. Yeah. Okay. Bueno. Market reviews. Let's go take a look at the S&P 500, the VIX, see what the heck is going on. All right. So we go to the specs SPX. So let me do this. I don't want to do anything. I want to take down the symbol grid and get this as big as I can on the screen. It looks a little scrunched. There we go. Okay. So what's happened now, right? I'm getting these, oh my goodness, this is going to fail from here, isn't it? We're not breaking through anymore. We're going to get failure taking place. And 2 words start with the exact same letter. What are they? What are the 2 words that I use regularly? They are the same letter. They start with right. There you go. Who else? Good, 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 good. Excellent, excellent. A lot of you. Look left. Stop focusing only on this. Look back. Analyze what's going on. I purposely set this screen up where we can look back from where the fib started to where it ended, and we could take it from there. Okay? So we've got our Fibonacci. Let's bring it a little bit further out so we could see. We had a good V bottom in there. Right? A lot of mess before it, but a good V bottom in there. Okay? Nice move up. When we analyze the move up, right? Here's the V bottom. We get this move up, and what happened? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days sideways momentum. Right? We move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll call it 5 days. In that slight up to sideways momentum, then we're back down again. Right? And that was in here. We move back up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We pop 1, 2, 3. So this was 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 days. Really long one. Freaking people out. And then we get a nice rise from there. And now what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days so far. These are supposed to be question marks, by the way. Okay, not 2, 3 feet. Right? It's a question mark. There we go. Right? 7 days so far. Okay. So what is it telling me? Guys, we've had this where we stretched out for 3 weeks, 14 days. That's trading days. That's 3 weeks of time that we stretched out sideways there before we got our next leg up. And as you're looking at what's going on right now, by bringing it a little further, you look at what's going on right now. Today we are on the 14th, right? On the 3rd, we had an all-time high, July 3rd, right? On the 10th, we had another all-time high. So talking 7 days apart, we've hit 2 all-time highs already. Don't let the fact that we're going sideways like this freak you out. What you should be looking at is this. First question, the first thing that I answer in my brain, and I don't ask it, I just see it, right? That doesn't mean you can't put a little document sheet together. And when I've done these things in the past, I've done them where I printed out a sheet, I made it nice and big so I didn't strain to read something, or try to fit everything on one line. Meaning I don't want sentences that are run on paragraphs in there. I try to put on one line, I put a little checkbox next to it, a box to put a check mark in. I'll draw lines to separate everything, whatever I can to make it simpler for me. But then I laminate it and get a grease pencil and come with a grease pencil and put a check mark next to everything to make sure I did it. And then I just wipe it off and it's ready for the next one. So you're not throwing paper away to do this. Okay. So the very first thing for me is what's my bias? What's my rank comes next? Right? My bias is bullish. Are we true bullish? That's again a statement. Yes, we are true bullish. What does that mean? 3 moving averages, 8, 21, 55. 8 is on top, 21 is in between, 55 is on bottom. We are moving in the right direction. Are the moving averages spreading? They are a little bit less on the 821 now, but they're closer, so it takes more to make them move. But we're still getting spreading on the 21 and 55. Right? Have any of the moving averages rolled over? Nope, nothing's there. I like what the moving averages are doing. So I'm a bullish bias. What is my rank? 3. Well, what does that mean? I'm in the middle of nowhere. Are we near a fib line? No. That would be, okay. Are we near a fib line and the stock closed near a fib line and the moving average is near it? That would be a rank of 1. Right? Are we near a fib line, but there's no moving average there? That's a rank of 2. Are we in the middle of nowhere, moving average or not, here or here? It doesn't matter. So this candle or this candle would both be a 3. And a 3 basically means unless it moves and gets me to one of those, or 1 or 2, I'm not interested in that company. So I can very easily go through my list. It's okay. I like these. I don't like these. Go. Right? Oh, I just realized I never shared with you guys. I'll show you quickly, but there were 2 or 3, 4 other trades that I took today. Well, one of them is AMD, is the open trade. So I think there's 3 others. So what's my bias? What's my rank? That's the very first thing. Okay. Now, and I'm looking left and I see that we've got this sideways momentum that's happened before. So there's nothing that I'm fearful of at this point. When the sideways momentum happened, what did our stock do? That's critical. All right. Go back to the beginning of the fib. We did not get above our moving averages, all of our moving averages, and we didn't get in the right order until we got above it right here, but we didn't get in the right order until here. So it was a couple of days later. Okay. From there, how did our moving averages hold? We broke the 21, 1, 2, 3 days. We got back up and we were back in there again. Okay. We wick. We got really tight. This long drawn out sideways move. We got really tight. And the wick might have pierced the 21 a little bit, got pretty close, bounced, and we're right back in it again. So what is this telling me? If we're breaking the 8, I may not be ecstatic about it, but I have no reason to fear. I'm not sitting here going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. No, there's nothing for that. Nothing for me to do with that at all. I'm not interested, right? It's not giving me anything that tells me it's time to be afraid. No, the exact opposite. It's telling me don't be afraid. All right, what if the candle closes down tomorrow? Okay, what if it does that? What if tomorrow or today's candle looks like this? Has it happened before? Look left. Oh, yeah, sure it has. I see it. It's happened right here where we closed below, and here, right? And we had a bunch of them here as we went sideways, right? In that, sideways momentum. Did we break the 21? We got pretty close here. Looks like we might have gotten through just a little bit. So at this point, am I worried? No. Am I focused on it? Yes. Do I know what's happening? Yes. Am I sitting there fretting and saying I need to close out all my positions? The answer is no. Not at all. Okay. Or this, I got 2 or 3 calls on this one. We hit the all-time high and then we pulled back. The next day was another weak candle. Should I get out of my positions there? Why? We're at a bullish bias rank of 1 right there. Don't you want the retest of the moving average and the fib line? Do you want your stock to move like this? Or do you want it to move like this? Now be careful. You may say, I'd love to just go straight up, but straight up normally brings straight down. Move up, small retreat. Move up, small retreat, so on, and so on. Right? Is a much better and stronger pattern when that presents itself, when that sets itself up. Right? So I'd rather see that. So when I look at this right now, the first thing is don't fret over what you see. The second thing is how difficult, how complicated is it going to be to break out to my next level, right? I've got a few different things happening in here. The first one is we have the Fibonacci drawn in here. And then from there, I have the A, B, C pattern. So wherever you start the fib, wherever you finish the fib, that's your A to B, right? And then there's the ABC tool on the right toolbar there. Right, for me anyway, it's on the right toolbar. You may have yours hidden. You got to go and find the drawing tools up here. Just click on it, or left click, right click, and you'll get it. And then C is the lowest low that we made in the pullback. Now, this is really not as low as I'd like it. I would much prefer us to be further down to at least that 618. In this case, we didn't get there. That's just what we have to work with. That's it. It's not like I can fudge around with it and say, let's change the way it looks. Nope, can't do that. All right, so now let's bring it in a little bit. So you can still see where the C is right here. Right? So what this has done then is it drops in 3 lines. It drops in a 236, it drops in a 618, and then it drops in a -1, or 1 actually, not -1, but a 1 up here. So 236, 618, and a 1. Okay? -1 is on the regular fib. So what do I have here? There's a blue zone. So all above head, there's a blue zone right there. That was off of this recent swing high we had. And when I say recent swing high, it was all-time high, actually. Okay? We had a slightly higher one on this day right here. So could I now take this box and adjust it? Oh, that should have stayed up there. I don't know why it's not letting me. Okay, let's try it that way. Let's go here. To there. Okay. I'm going to take out that 62.84. I don't need any longer. That's the all-time high there. So what do I have above me? I've got that blue zone in there. Why? Because I've got the all-time high right there. That day, you can see the difference, right? It's slightly higher. Not much, but it's slightly higher. I have the fib level, which when we bring it out, that fib level is the -382 right here. And then I've got the 618 level, which is part of the ABC pattern. Those 3 things are giving me a strong ceiling, right? Just the fib line is a nice, strong, heavy piece of 5/8 sheetrock. But everything else that's happening up there is stacked up with 2 3/4 inch pieces of plywood on top of it, right? It's making it harder to break through. Doesn't mean we won't. It just means you may see more attempts, more attacks at it. The key is this. Are we continuing to see higher highs and higher lows? If the answer is yes, then I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about it. We're going to break through. The first thing will probably be a wick, and we'll come right back down again. But that wick, they basically let us chip away at the ice and said, if you want to come in, the door is open. By all means, go for it. And that's exactly what we want. I can't trade well. If this thing just gaps up and runs, if the S&P gaps 50, 70 points on the open today and runs, how easy does that become for you to find trade setups? It doesn't. Move up, move up, move up, retest, pull back, move up, break through a little bit, pull back, move up, bam, break through hard. That's what I'm looking for, right? We don't have anything here that says to me it's time to be scared. Nothing that says it's time to be scared. Do we have something that says keep your eyes open? Yes, we've got some resistance up here. Don't get cocky and say, all right, we broke through the all-time high. We're going higher now. You got 2 more lines above your head yet. The 382 and the purple 618, which is part of the ABC. And just so you understand that ABC pattern, once the stock broke above the 236, it validates the pattern, right? So we get the move up. We get our pullback right in there, and that's telling you take the long trade. We did. Boom. What a move, right? 618 is your next resistance. Well, guess what? That's where we are, right at 618, right? Whatever the distance of our Fibonacci is, whatever that dimension is in there. So if we take the dollar difference tool, which is built into Omega charts, we have that there, right? If I take this and stack it up from the C pattern, right? That 100%, whatever the distance was from A to B, from where we started the fib to where we ended it, that's the same amount of dollars. In this case, we're looking at 867, right? That's what we're looking for, the rise off of that C level, 867. And it comes right to that 66, 34, 39. That's a 100% extension of the original move. Okay. So that's why we're applying that one there. So do we have the opportunity to get there? We sure do. And then we run into just a whole different scenario of the 67, 65 up there, which I am very excited to see if we can hit. Okay. So, excuse me. Actually, let's get rid of those two lines. I don't need them there. Perfect. Okay, good. I want to bring this out a little bit again, just so we could zoom in. So right now, we're looking at the all-time high is where our first resistance is. That brought us to the exact number is 62.90.22, 62.99.80, and 63.03.20. So roughly, we're talking about 6,300 is our resistance inside of here, roughly, right? 62.90 to 63.03. We're talking about a 13-point difference for three levels on a $6,000 position or index, right? We've got a lot of opportunity to the upside on this yet. Can we flounder around in here a little bit? Yep, we can. Can you find short-term interim entries where you bounce off the moving average, but you don't quite make it to the fib line? You can. Okay. For me, guns are blazing, and when we break out of all three of those lines, that 618 included, the purple line right up in here, our blue zone, breakout, retest, and bounce, that to me is the go for the gusto type setup. That's what I'm looking for. Please and thank you all at the same time, right? If we could break from there. Yeah, Trip said still not below the 8 and 14 trading dates. Exactly, Trip. It's been up in there all of those days. Good point. Um, Alex said, I've only been trading for 8 or 9 months, so this is my first go around, but my sense is that there's a trepidation and even anxiety as these previous highs, like the market remembers. Last time we were at these levels, everything went to crap, to very cautious bullishness. Kind of, kind of like when you get in a fight with your spouse and you spend a little while gently restoring harmony. That works, or gently tending to a previous wound as it heals. Um, would you agree, or is that silly? No, it's not a matter of agree or disagree, Alex. I think that's part of it. That there's some trepidation there from individuals. I think history repeats itself, so people see that and fear it. I think some of it is self-fulfilling prophecy. I think the bigger part of it is, when you look at if you look at the pie, right, and you say that this is all the trading dollars that takes place out there. Okay. This piece, right, and this is your center, let's say, just make it easy, right? This piece right here, that is your retail traders. That's you and I, Alex. All the rest of this is professional money. Floor traders, market makers, traders for Goldman Sachs or Merrill Lynch, or professional traders. Robert, aren't you a professional trader? Whether I do it professionally or not, I don't have the ability to move the market, right? I am not a Goldman Sachs that can go out there, or Warren Buffett that can go out there and buy 50 million shares of a stock. Can't do it. Can't. Love to. Although if I had enough money to move 50 million shares of stock, I would just go buy an island and be done. Um, I wouldn't do it anymore if that was the case, or hire someone to do it for me. But we're a very small piece of the puzzle. A lot of this is, look, when we get this, the market goes running like it has, okay? And we get these takeoffs taking place, right? Okay. So we had this great move take place in there, great move, up and down, everything we wanted. A little bit of trepidation there, Alex, right? We go back up, we get to a new all-time high, and then we drop, we pull up, and we get the big fail, small move up, bigger fail, right before you start to climb back. This right here, a lot of this taking place, a lot of this taking place, that's professionals that are saying, you know what? I'm just going to pull my money off the table. Retail traders, you go for it. You do your thing. Doesn't mean that someone's not calling Merrill Lynch and say, buy me 1,000 shares of IBM. That still happens, right? Are the big firms loading up on shares at that point as it's going up like that? The answer is no. But now that they've pulled the money off, what happens to retail traders? Sell, 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 sell. Right? They just start getting out of everything. Right? And then you get down here and grab it again. I just wanted to, you know what? No, let me do this first. Make it a little bigger, easier to see. You had this drop in here, and we get a little bounce, right? That was the bulls saying, all right, we think we've pulled back enough. Let's go ahead and take another test and see if we can do it. They threw a little bit of money at it. It failed. Retail traders were not jumping on board. Pros did not, take it as a go. And then we get the bigger pullback in there, right? And then we had a lot of whipsawing taking place in here, a lot, before we got our bounce. And we saw things happen. We came down to the 20% correction. I mean, a lot of things, a lot of triggers kicked in for people, individuals, retail to look at it and say, yeah, I think this is the right place to get in. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that every time the market goes down, it's going to bounce again. Sooner or later, it's not. Sooner or later, it's going to crash. It has to, right? 2019, 2020, right? The move we had, 2008, 2000, 99 to 2000, all of that standard, right? And it's going to crash and it's going to hurt. So it went down a little bit and started to bounce by here. Is not going to work forever. There's going to be times that it's going to go against you at that point, and there's really not going to be anything you can do. And that's okay. And when I say it's okay, meaning you're going to have trades go against you. You've got to plan for that. The difference is you bought the stock at 200. It's now down at 112, and you're wondering why you're still holding it. Your stop is your stop is your stop. It doesn't matter if it happened to you right away. Oh, as soon as I got in, it went against me. Okay, then you're out right away. You had the wrong trade, you're out. It's okay. Right? But focus on what's happening ahead. All right? And a lot of this really comes down to, we'll go back to that. Our weekly training topic is slow down to speed up. Get your trading under control. Right? And why am I saying that? What am I bringing that up for? Slow down to speed up. Right? We are seeing that slowdown in the market here. We saw the slowdown in the market here. You need to look at this and say, okay, your jets can't be a running all day long. You cannot be a speedboater all day long. You can't be the adrenaline junkie 24/7. You just can't. You got to back away. And when the market says, yeah, we're kind of cooling our jets a little bit, there's nothing wrong with you taking a step back. There's nothing wrong with you becoming more stringent in the trades that you take, more diligent in the setups that you look for, more precise, smaller number of contracts, and then rock and roll time. Now it's time to jump back in, right? When the signal triggers. Do I have it now? I don't. I have nothing that tells me that. This is a slowdown and wait to speed up, right? What am I waiting for? I'm waiting for the breakout. If I get the breakout, then what? It's pretty simple, right? For me, breakout, retest, bounce. Here's my next resistance. Then, right, when that bounce took place off of there, now I'm going to my watch list and I'm going to start picking my stocks and see what fits my criteria. Does that mean there aren't trade setups to be done right now? No, it doesn't mean that at all. We're in a bullish bias right now, right? There are plenty of setups out there that can be done. Plenty of setups that can be done. Here, so we got APP, brand new stock in our watch list for power option plays. What happened today? We gapped up, we pulled up, we retested, we bounced. Great entry on APP. First trade on it. Now, small contracts. I don't know APP yet. So just doing one contract to say, let me get the feel of how this trades. Booking. Great setup today. Problem was, come on. Problem was it came down and closed right at my fib line. So the next open is my entry. Well, it closed here at 56.89 and I'm in the trade at 56.98. So I had a $10, $11 move, $9 move to the upside before in, and then it gapped down and back again. Okay. So has it moved nicely? Yeah, it's moved very nicely today. Taking a bounce off that 56.89, and right now it's at 57.53. Yeah, it's a great move. right? DoorDash is another one, brand new stock, right? What happened on DoorDash? We moved up, we closed right there. So that fib line is 240, 240.10. We closed at 240.30, 20 cents above. We stretched down here to a low of 240.26, a little bit, not much, and then we pulled back. But we had already pulled back into that one there, and then we bounced, right? So you're in this at 241 a quarter, 241 and a half. It's at 243. Are you killing it? Nope. 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 Not killing it, but I'm not trying to kill it. If I can get in, find a good entry price, take the run as far as it goes, momentum slows down, jump out of the trade, lock in whatever I can get for the day. In this market condition, I'm ecstatic over it. Very excited for that type of a setup. Sell, Mortimer, sell. Exactly. Exactly, Trip. Um, Les, I'm sorry, I didn't see this until just now, and it's not timestamped. So what the W where and what area? Brendan said it's going to need a retest. Yeah, and again, Brendan, I didn't see when you put it in. If we're talking S&P 500, yeah, I'd love a retest. I don't really want the retest of the 6204. I think we've got enough flatness in here now. We need to start moving up a little bit and get closer to resistance right now. Let the 8 continue to climb and then the breakout and the move up because it gives us the continuous higher lows and higher highs. Oh, rest. Yeah. Yeah, Jim said, remember to cover the 4 trades you took. I just did, Jim. Sorry. APP was one of them today, the bounce off of here. Booking was another, right? I showed the 1 minute on this and DoorDash, right? AMD was the other one. That's an open trade we already had, right? From last week. We got our first exit today, so no matter what happens, I'm profitable on the trade. I don't care. All right. Let me bring us back into our presentation. So, guys, we got Inner Circle coming up tonight. We got Mastermind coming up on the 15th, which is tomorrow. On the 16th is Wealth with Spreads. The 21st is next week. So we got Trading You and 23rd. Pop, Covered Call, E-Mini, Power Hour, Training Coach, Playbook are all on regular schedule. All right. Dog Days of Summer. Guys, this is all about free resources to give you the opportunity to help make you a better trader. You should be looking into every single one of these. Don't pass on any of these free resources that are out there. We already covered the weekly training topic. Slow down to speed up. Get your trading under control. Focus on the process I laid out here. And by the way, Andrew just dropped a link in for the Trading Like a Boss. We can get a bunch of the free resources that are available. All right, what candidates do you want me to look at? Drop them in. We got 6 minutes here. Micron and Toll, I entered bullish swing trades last week, but was stopped out of both. Today, both had bullish bias, volume RSI off the fib. Bad luck, or did I just misread them as good trades? So that's a little harder for me to analyze, Alex, based on where my fibs might be versus yours. But let's take a look. Yeah, probably need to redo the fib on Micron. No, why? For some reason, I thought I had already redone that. Let's do this. Just want to see the fib. So about $8. So 114 to 130. Oh yeah, we definitely need to split that in half, maybe even more than that. 10 and negative 136 and a 118. We got 8. No, we're okay. We're actually good. We're spot on there. All right. Yeah, so I don't quite know where it was, Alex, but let's just say that this was Friday that the trade went off. Right in here. Right, trade went off on Friday, and you took a swing trade, and it got a nice little bounce up, and then we get the gap down. I don't know what the news was that drove it down today. From a technical standpoint, things have changed, right? Because when you look left, we haven't really broken the 21, and today we did. So at this point, that valiant question of do I still want to be in this trade or not? We recently looked at this for one of our watch lists, and I think chose to not add it. on our watch list. Let's see. Again, it's hard to say where it was, Alex. If right here, ideal setup, right, for this day. Here, not so much an ideal setup. It's a rank of 3, although it worked, right? Gap up, pull back. Didn't get to close there. Today now, if we got the bounce, close up above the 120, retest and bounce, yeah, then I'm in it, right? So that's what I like on Toll right now is that breakout, retest the 120 and bounce. 128 and a quarter is resistance. 127-ish would be my target on the upside. So I hope that helps, Alex. Let's see. Amazon. A couple of you asked for that. So Amazon, again, this was a trade setup from last week. I have started recording every one of the pop trades as they happen each day. Each day I do my recording, excuse me, when I do the updates twice a week. And we now are feeding them into our AI and they're automatically posting them for us on multiple platforms all at once. So there's a lot, these are going out to a lot of different places. It's hard to miss them if you're following on social media at all, because we've got them out in 4 or 5 different places, these shorts or reels type videos going up. TikTok, Reels, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, there's 5 right there. So I like where it's at a lot, right? I would love the pullback to the 228.78, Brenda, and the bounce, and then 230 is resistance. A lot. I like it. It almost looks like Friday was the day on Amazon, right? SPY. So SPY is in a rank of 3 right now. The moving average might be close enough to get it to a rank of 2, but it looks like we might be just a little further away than I like. So maybe a small break down below the 8, get near closer to the 619 and a bounce. It'll bring the 8 moving average down a little bit. If not, I got to wait for the move above the 629 level. QBTS. All right. Not familiar with this one. Dennis put this in, right? Yeah, not familiar with this, Dennis. Is a newer stock or no? Not newer, but so my fib is going to be in here. Let's try that again. So Dennis, we're in a rank of 3, neutral bias rank of 3. I need this to get back above the 1671, close above, because we had that fake little close there. We did it again here. We gapped up, and that was just a big fail. So break through it again, retest and bounce. 17. Let me see, 16, 3/4, 17, 9, 3. So we would actually need to split this level in half, Dennis. So we're going to need a 118. And a negative 136 also, but so 18/4 once it breaks the 1671 is my next resistance. All right, so John's saying GRR, naked put. Okay, that's better like that. Not the stock we were looking at. So I don't know what GRR is giving as far as premiums go, but you might not get a lot of premium on it. And you very well might, John. I don't know the company. But a lot of sideways movement here. A quick little burst up, but a lot of sideways movement. So you might not get a lot of premium. If you do, that's great. We've pierced through the 55 a couple of times, so a little caution there. I'd love to see it get back above the 8 before doing anything, though, which should not be that big a deal. We're at 2030. We're talking 21.10. So another 70, 80 cents to the upside. So the 18 and a half, yeah, I mean, look, 18 and a half, you're all the way down here. All right, so you got a lot of room. Is this one on Trip? Is this one off Cover Call Explorer? Amelia asked for Tesla. Yeah, 323.79, guys, is Tesla. All right, keep your eye on Tesla. What's happening there? Lower highs, higher lows. We got a little bit of a wedge forming. Which ways are going to go? No one knows, right? Let me see. Is it? Why am I not seeing it? It's not gonna work there. Oh, I can't do it yet. All right, let's try that again. Yeah, this may be just a little too long in advance to try. Oh no, it's not bad. So my goal is for this to break the wedge inside of here. So whatever this date is and this date is, it's 44 days out and 54 days out from this date. Right? If I get rid of this, we'll be able to see it. That's between August 1st and August 15th. That's when I wanted to break out of the wedge. That's the ideal scenario for it. All right. So I'm a tremendous fan of Tesla. Tremendous fan. Love them as a company. Whether you got to ask yourself a question. If you hate the man, do you hate them more than making money? If the answer is yes, then go for it. Then you do that. There's very few people I hate more than making money. So I'm going to make as much as I can. 100% tariffs on Russia if Putin doesn't end the war. Absolutely. Those are concerns, big concerns. Analysts are still bullish on Micron. Possible news for downside move on Micron. Executive active selling over 100,000 shares. Ooh, that's big. Alex said I got a whopping $148 on GRRR last week and 170 this week on 2 contracts. Nice. Yeah, Roman capital letters. I don't care about the man. Stock is money is a money making machine. Exactly. Yeah, whether you like them or not, it shouldn't matter. If you don't like them, make money and give it to the people that you think you hurt that can use the money. I mean, that's okay, right? Great job, Alex. Yeah, everybody, great job today. Hey, I kept you a little bit over, but a lot of candidates in there today. I think I got to all of them. So with that, everybody, Andrew dropped a couple of links in there. Go ahead and click on those. We'll leave the room open a few more minutes for you. Have a great rest of your day. God bless. I will see you all at our next update, folks. Take care. We'll see you soon.